Welcome to Bricks and Toys. How are you all doing today? Because I'm doing a little fired up. And you know what's funny about being fired up? A long time ago, about a year and 2 months ago, I made a video where I got about as fired up, probably not as fired up as I am right now at this moment, and 55,000 people watched that video. 155 of you came over and subscribed because of that video. And I just want to let you guys know, today, this is the sequel that you guys have been waiting for. I don't care if I'm on the wrong side, if I'm on the right side. I don't care if people are hop in the comments and play devil's advocate. I don't care. I don't care if you think that I'm crying, because hell, I ain't. It's called making content. So you know what we're going to do today? We're going to come over here, grab a lighter, grab a candle, and we're going to physically live the expression of, we're going to light this candle on fire. Once the flame is lit, Bricks and Toys loses his shit. Let's get into it. Now you guys all know my story, and if you don't, let me break it down for you. I do not have a job. And the reason I don't have a job is because I am too freaking honest. Every single day when I go out my door, I feel like I have to be honest. I have to be an honest driver. I want to be an honest civilian. I want to walk the earth and do unto others and tell others unto you, or however it goes. That's why I don't have a job. That's because every businessman in this county, in this town of Las Vegas, I swear, is crooked and off of their damn rocker with greed. Now, it's expensive to live in Nevada, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as expensive as trying to live in states like New York or California. California is our neighboring state here, and every time I go over there, I see people working at McDonald's, and I'm like, how do they do it? But this amount of greed and what these people do to their employees makes my blood boil. I mean, I swear, boil. There's a reason that I cannot hold a job. And that's because when grandma comes in, I'm not going to blow up grandma's laptop or iPhone to sell grandma a new iPhone or a new laptop that we just happen to be selling. And that's why I'm a little irritated today and making this video about these two Lego sets. And another reason I'm irritated is because I'm under a lot of stress. I am so disconnected from everything around me because I feel like I'm about to break. If that's not messed up, I'm going to tell you what is. My cat, my emotional support cat, yes, she is documented. I need that cat. She got sick. I took her to the vet, and I ain't mad at the vets for doing their job because she came home and she was better. And now all I got to do is feed her the right diet and the right medication, and I should have her for as long as, well, God is willing. But this vet emergency costed me $1,000. $1,000 to bring my cat from the brink of death back to life. And in case you guys are wondering, the whole reason that this even happened with my cat is because I never even knew it until just now. My cat was born with one kidney, not two. And since we never knew and we never did anything to take care of that one kidney, well, guess what? That one kidney got what the vet called injured, and it stopped operating correctly, and it was causing her a lot of pain, and that's what was making her not eat and get, well, sick and almost dying. For $1,000, we found out that with some proper diet and some medication, we might be able to get her a few more years, well, I hope at least 10, and move on. As you guys know with my channel, I constantly talk about being on a budget crisis. And we are on a budget crisis. We can't afford to have emergencies at the moment. I'm about to lose my house. I'm about to lose everything. And the last thing I needed was a $1,000 vet bill. So when we came into the vet with the cat, I had my mom on speakerphone because she's the only one that I can turn to that has a nickel to help me with this kind of a thing. And she told the vet, my max limit is $600 on the cat. And the vet came back and said, we can make her comfortable for $600 and that'll be it. But for another $500, we could hospitalize her, give her IVs and medication, and try to better her, and that way we can get a better idea if we can stabilize her and make her better versus letting her go. Of course, this is my emotional support cat, so you know what I told the vet? I told the vet, we'll do $600 on my mom, I'll make the rest happen. As soon as I got out of the vet's office, I gave my local Lego reseller, and so this is where the story is going to begin, is right here. I came out of the vet, I called my local Lego brick reseller, because we have 2 Lego stores and 1 major reseller chain. Can't disclose the name probably, because I'll get sued, even though the only thing you can sue me for is the shirt off my back. Here, have a $25 t-shirt. Anyway, I call them up, and I tell them, hey, you guys know me. I'm the YouTuber. Yes, we know you. Do you guys have the capabilities, if I brought in a bunch of Star Wars UCS sets, to have the capabilities to pay around $1,000? I have a cat in the hospital, and I need $1,000. Yes, we can make an appointment. Not a problem. Okay, 11:30 tomorrow. I'll be there. Click. They literally told me, yeah, we should be able to buy $1,000 worth of Star Wars Lego sets from you without an issue. So the next day comes, I go down there, I have my Millennium Falcon, I have my retired Batwing, I have like 5 other little teeny play sets like Eldorado Fortress, Viking Village, Medieval Town Square, Yavin 4, and I think another one. I got it all written down on paper. I bring in those play sets, the Batwing, the Millennium Falcon, and these 2 guys. I go down there, I sit in there for an hour. As I'm sitting in this local reseller for 1 hour, they're telling me, well, you know, they're not retired, and that's going to be a problem on resale, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, well, I spoke to you on the phone because I'm not a crackhead. I'm not going to steal Lego sets and copper and God knows what crackheads steal and just drop in unannounced and uninformed of how much money am I going to get. I'm not a crackhead. I have a sick cat. I got to do something about it. They started backpedaling right then and there. That should have been disclosed on the phone. That's our first red flag right there. Now, before I go any further, I want to announce 2 things. One, this major reseller chain, which is an acronym of BAM, like I did that, is not at fault. 2, the employees are not at fault. That's why I'm irritated about this, is because these poor employees are just like me, with a gun to the back of their head saying, if you want a living, I'm the boss, screw people over. That's why I'm irritated. So I'm not mad at the companies whose acronym goes with BAM, and I'm not mad at the employees. Now let's continue. So the guy sits up there, he types. Then eventually he goes off into the back and contacts the owner. He comes back and he says, now get this. Now let me give you the list. Let me go get my chair. That's better. Don't you just feel like you can just feel a little bit more at ease when you sit in a chair? He comes back and he says, for the Falcon, the Batwing, the Viking Village, Medieval Town Square, Eldorado Fortress, and Yavin 4, Razor Crest, and the UCS Venador, we will give you $600. We'll be lucky to be able to sell them for $1,500. That's why we're offering you $600. Like they're doing me a service. I shit my pants, everybody. $600 for a UCS Falcon, the 1989 Batwing in a acrylic case, a UCS Venador, and a UCS Razor Crest. Now, the Viking Village, Medieval Town Square, and Eldorado Fortress, and Yavin 4, I don't care about those. I thought I was going to use them in the city. I just decided not to. I wanted to clear them out and make space for other Lego sets. So you know what I did? I looked at the guy and I said, if you are an honest Lego collector, you know that's asinine. You know I cannot do that. I will surrender my Falcon to you guys. I will surrender the Batwing and the play sets because they're not going to survive the trip home. They barely made it there. They're not going to make it back. And I'm not rebuilding a Millennium Falcon, and I'm not rebuilding a Batwing. Batwing would be easier than the Falcon. I just ain't doing it. I surrendered those sets and I sold them with the other play sets and came out with $400. So they offered me 6. I came home with 400 and these 2 sets. So what that tells me right there alone, they offered me $100 for the Venador and $100 for the Razor Crest. But where does that leave the $400 worth of sets? And with doing some math, the Falcon, they offered me about $150 for the Falcon, to which I had no choice but to take. It wasn't going to make it back. For the Batwing in an acrylic, $100, $190 case, $75 for the Batwing, 1989. The Viking Village was around $20. The Medieval and the Eldorado Fortress, somewhere around $60 a piece. Yavin 4 around $35. I don't care about the play sets. They literally told me that they wouldn't be able to make more than $1,500 on all of my sets. When I know for damn fact that those guys in that store price everything out at least $40 more compared to Bricklink. If you were to go on Bricklink and buy a Venador, there's one example and it's $650. I'm not buying that. Literally. But used prices on the Venador are between $450 and $550. That's how much they would have been able to sell this for. The Razor Crest, at least $425 to $525 for the Razor Crest. Right there, we're pushing a straight G. The Falcon sells all day for $550. Between those 3 sets alone is their $1,500 that they tried to say. That's all we can get. Come on. Then you continue it up with the Batwing. With the case or without the case, $180 to $220 all day. They gave me $75 for it. And then the Medieval Town Square, there's no examples. The Yavin, $120. And for the Fortress, there's no examples. And for the Viking Village, about $90. So they would have made over $1,500 off of my sets. They basically are going to go into their store, put out my Millennium Falcon that they paid me $150 for. They're probably going to put it out on display for about $590. $150 to $590. That is a difference of $440. They're going to make $440 profit off of me. My Batwing is going to be another $125 or so profit. All those other sets are going to be chump change. If I would have sold in this Venador, they would have made at least $350 to $400 profit on this Venador. And the same thing goes for the Razor Crest. If I would have made this deal, they would have made $1,100 off of my $600 sale to them. That means that they would have made about $1,700 total, and they would have taken home 11, and I would have taken home 6. Now, I don't have a problem reselling to these stores. I do not. I believe that when you go into these stores, they give you about 50% or 45, 50%. That is well below 45 to 50% cash back on these type of things. Even my local store called Brad's Toys, they gave me $220 for a handful of Funko Pops. They have a better resale on plastic vinyl figurines compared to these guys. And so, all of this got me thinking, if they were going to rip me off $1,100 on all of my sets, let me think about that for a second. I came in and I asked for $1,000. They were prepared. Well, they should have been prepared because I told them honestly, don't you watch my YouTube channel? I say shit, I do it. It's like G-Eazy said, if I said it, then I meant it. But it's not rocket science, guys. If I came in expecting $1,000, they were going to take $1,700 worth of sets that they can resell. They still would have made $700 profit. But more logically speaking, they could have given me about $800 and then made themselves $900. See, meet in the middle there, okay? Bump it up from $600 to $800. I take home $800. I'm only $200 shy from taking care of my cat. They still make $900 off of me. That sounds pretty brutal, but that's how the resale business works. But see, this all got me thinking. And I started ruminating, you guys know what I mean. I couldn't quit thinking about it. And so I started going over some points here. As you guys know, I already went over the buying cost. If you were to sell on eBay, you probably would make 65%. These guys are charging way below 45 for their set. So in this particular case, to sell online is a brutally better decision. Because I thought about that at first, like, can I borrow the money from people in my family, sell my sets, and then pay them back? That was an option. But then I thought, I'm going to pay $50 on average to ship these sets. Then I'm going to have to pay at least 15% per set on shipping. Each set would cost me about $100 to $150 a piece to sell on eBay. But if I get $450 for the Venador, that still leaves me $330. That's still $230 more than Bricks and Minifigs offered me. So you guys are starting to see my points here. And then my next point was talking about how they're gouging consumers, which I already went over that. Like I told you guys, profiting off of me $1,100 is just insanity. And then my next thing was, they told me, well, right now we just took a big sale and we're incapable of large purchases. Now, you remember what I said at the beginning of this? I told you guys, I asked them, are you capable of making a $1,000 purchase? And then not only that, I came in with some big-ass dog UCS sets. These are sought after. I didn't bring my Technic Cyan in and asked for a premium on that. I brought in these guys. Unable to make large purchases because we just did it. That's a you problem, not a me problem. You should have told me that on the phone. Then they were telling me, well, it's because they're newer and they're not retired and they're going to sit. Again, you problem, not a me problem. You should have disclosed that on the phone. Hey, if they're the new UCS sets, we're not going to be able to take them for all that much because they're going to sit. I understand the business. I won't do it. Easy as that. And then this all comes to a head. Every single episode of Beyond the Brick. Beyond the Brick is a YouTube channel of a single guy who goes into people's homes and basements and collections, and also Lego resellers to show collection of Lego. That's what Beyond the Brick does. If you watch my channel, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. When you watch those episodes, every BAM store has a perfect freaking inventory. When you go into every BAM, it's like a treasure trove. You are going through and looking at so many remarkable sets. You go into our pick-a-brick bin is almost empty. There's never any good stock in that store. Maybe 3 times a year, you can go in there and actually find something really freaking incredible. And it's like, why do we not have a good inventory when we have a Lego community here in Vegas? But why do we have the poorest inventory that I've seen out of all of these BAM stores through Beyond the Brick? That's because the owner is gouging people. That's what I'm trying to say here, folks. The owner is literally ripping people blind. No one's going to want to sell their stuff at 45 or lower. Hell, I think it's even below 40. No one's going to want to sell. And so that leads me to my next point. For all of you local people out there, I love you guys. I love all of you fans out there. But for my local people who see me in the lines of the Lego store and they interact with me at my local lug group, I don't care if this gets me in trouble with my local lug group. We need to start thinking about this. If we see selling something that we want, we need to stop, go home, and order it from Bricklink. Bricklink will charge you the same as will, but you are paying that person at least 65% for their work of selling their item, where basically stole that item off of a poor, needing individual like me who had a sick cat for under 40%. Why do we want to support a business owner who steals? This is why I'm so frustrated, because these are the people that I've had to work for in my life. This is not fair. So I'm telling you, all of you guys locally with me, the store that rhymes with BAM, y'all know who I'm talking about. Don't support this business until they change their ways. This owner is literally robbing the people that need to sell. And then he's selling at Bricklink prices to you and me, who are the collectors. And who's getting rich here? Not the poor guy who needed money for his cat or his bills because he fell on hard times. No, the owner. The owner's getting fat. And that's wrong. So locally, everybody, I am telling you guys, please come together and let's stand against this. This is why I have issues with working for people in this city. At what point do we start taking 50% again? That way people get a fair chance and not get ripped off. I have no problem with BAM at all. I have no problem with the employees. I want this reseller in my city. I need this reseller in my city for retired sets to make videos for you guys. But I'm not going to stand there on the other side of the fence and say it's okay for them to rip people off. And then people like you and I who go in there to mostly buy, literally fatten the guy's pockets up who just ripped somebody off $1,100 trying to save their cat. We got to be smart here. And so that goes into my final point here. Now you guys are going to sit there and say, well, he's got the lights, he's got this, he's got that. You know what? I'm not a mathematician, and I'm probably not going to nail this math right, but I've already done some numbers for you guys. That guy is paying about $3,000 to $4,000 a month for space rent for his store. That's what the going rate is in that area of this town, is about that much per month. He always has 2 employees on the floor at all times. Stores only open on average of 8 hours a day, meaning he's paying probably about $5,000 to $6,000 minimum wage to his 2 employees per month. And I think that's being rather generous. So between that, he is paying about $10,000 a month in overhead. He still has internet, he still has utilities, and he still has his security system, which, big news here, it's a Ring security system who doesn't charge any more than $20 a month because it's Ring. I have Ring in my house. It's cheap. It's basic. Okay? You're telling me that your overhead is between $10,000 to $12,000 a month, and yet you're trying to rip me off $1,100? Nah, bro. No. You could easily sustain that business charging people at least 50 to 55% for their sets, not going as low as 35 to 45%. And that's my final point. So with that, let me double check my notes here. I think I've gone over everything. When I get fired up to make a video like this, I want to make sure I got all of my facts straight, because the internet is a dangerous place to get fired up and be an ass. And I'm really hoping that you guys don't see me as the monkey's ass on this one. I'm doing my best. So with that, let me go over here to my candle. And candles out. Now, let's calm. I just want to say at the end of this video, once again, for my local people, you know who this BAM acronym is. Consider it deeply when buying a set. You are just fattening a greedy man's pockets. By boycotting this business, we can get them to turn this around and take care of the community that needs to sell. Because again, what they did to me is not right. And they do it to everybody else. That's why I believe this store is not stocked compared to other stores, because the other stores are probably paying the correct price and people are more okay with letting their sets go at that rate. That's why our store is not a treasure trove. Local people, please consider that. Continuing on, this was not a rant against the employees. I'm mad for the employees because they have the shotgun to the back of their skull when they're just trying to provide a living for their car payment, their rent, their utilities, wives, kids, whatever they have. Like me, when I had to do a similar job to them. Because that's just messed up when the owner makes them do such cold and dirty work to make a living. That's just messed up. And we need to recognize that. And lastly, guys, you guys cannot deny that I am right when I literally said that I can make $230 more by selling this on eBay versus $100 selling in their store. It's crazy. $100 for a Venador. A $650 set brand new. $600 set Razor Crest brand new. $100 for it as well. You guys got to go with me on this one and know that I'm right. That was the unintended sequel to the Titanic scam rant. But I have to say something because I am pissed. My business will be suspended with this company until I read in the Google reviews that things have turned around. And if they get shuttered, well, you know what? Teach that guy a lesson, because he is a Las Vegas local. He is just like the rest of them and greedy as hell. And I'm not going to stand for it. It's bullshit. So with that, everybody, if you guys want to support the Lego channel so I don't have to get $100 on each of these sets, There's a thank you button down below. You guys leave a small donation. I super appreciate anything you guys can do. With that, if you guys just want to follow along with anything that we do here on the channel, we just don't do Lego reviews, we do Lego rants too. And I wish we could not do that. As usual, like and share the video with your friends and comment your thoughts down below. Fire it up in the comments. Let's see if we can do 55,000 on this video like we did with the Titanic. This video is me going back to that root of anger that you guys saw in that video, and 155 of you subscribed. So thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. I am truly, 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 truly upset because I went in there after asking the proper questions and being told something else when I was in there, and all I was trying to do was get a little bit of extra money to pay the hospital bill on my cat. And in case you guys are wondering about my cat, she is in the positive. She will make a turnaround. I'm very, very happy. But it was not looking good if I could not get the money. And how did I get the money? Well, guess what? Another family member came through, my mom, of course, and she had to pay the difference that these guys obviously are not capable of doing when they should have been more than capable of doing it. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode.